Welcome to Senior Year, where you come for all of your media needs. My name is Ray.
It's your boy Nikki Tay.
And today, we are reviewing Abominable.
Directed by Jill Colton, starring the voice of Chloe Bennett. I want to start this review off by saying, if Disney is your firstborn, then DreamWorks is your secondborn.
Whoa, what about Pixar?
Well, Pixar and Disney kind of like one entity.
Then call them twins then.
Okay, so if you had a kid, twins, and then they came out and it was Disney and Pixar, right? And you loved them, you cared for them, it was all new, and then you said, hey, we want to do another one, which is now your third born, technically. That's DreamWorks, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you still love them, but those macaroni sculptures don't hit as hard. You know, the awards that they get, the band recitals, you just care a little bit less. And there's no disrespect to DreamWorks, because DreamWorks has hits. You know, from the Prince of Egypt, to the Shrek franchise, to How to Train Your Dragon franchise, the Kung Fu Panda franchise. Look at that. I mean, I can even take it more recent with like Boss Baby, which isn't a bad movie.
It's okay.
It doesn't stand up to the other ones. But then we have Abominable, right? And it's in this space where, you know, DreamWorks typically, all the success, I would say, have come from them building the franchises up, like I named, Shrek, How to Train Your Dragon, and Kung Fu Panda. The real question for me isn't if Abominable is a good movie, but do I see this movie becoming a franchise? Will this movie kind of drift to just be a one hit or one movie wonder, like Monster vs. Aliens, right, for DreamWorks, another DreamWorks movie. And I don't think that's exactly what it will be. I don't think we will see these characters again, even though the ending does suggest that there could be the start of a franchise. I just don't feel the connection like I feel with How to Train Your Dragon, which I love. I love the franchise.
Yeah.
Shrek. Who doesn't love Shrek? Even Kung Fu Panda. Right? Like people love Kung Fu Panda. I don't see Abominable being on the same level as those movies.
And I think you bring up a fair point, right? I even think you started off the review perfectly. But I got to go in a different direction.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Buckle up.
Is this movie worth watching, right? Because that's why people came.
That's true.
They didn't want to hear, you know, soliloquy on, you know, where DreamWorks falls at.
DreamWorks.
So we both know DreamWorks is the kid that gets the B's when clearly your twins, which is Pixar and Disney, is getting all the A's.
Yeah, they too much.
So they definitely a B student, which is nothing wrong with getting the B's.
We need the B students.
But when you got those crazy twins over there, those darn twins over there, you cannot see your third child. It just does not happen. But is this movie worth watching, right? Is it worth watching? No. Unless you have kids, right? Like some movies, like I would say all those movies named Kung Fu Panda, Shrek, like all of these movies, How to Train Your Dragon, these are movies that are good for the parents as well as the kids, right? And I think that this movie was only good for kids. I don't think that adults will really enjoy this movie. I know I didn't. I'm not saying that the movie is terrible. It's not a bad movie. But I don't think it's a movie that caters towards kids and adults alike.
I absolutely agree. This movie is not bad by any means. It is a very solid kids movie. If I was a kid, would it be my favorite? No. Would I watch it a few times? Perhaps.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But again, there's nothing that really stands out to me. You know, the whole premise is that there are scientists who have now captured the abominable snowman, or Yeti to some folks in some parts of the world. He gets loose, a kid, or more specifically, a little girl finds him, and she takes him home. That is the premise. Cute, cuddly as it may be, it just isn't a hit for me. It isn't the Shreks. It isn't the How to Train Your Dragons. It isn't the Kung Fu Pandas. It's not the Boss Baby. It might not even be Trolls. And I don't even really care for Trolls, but I know how Trolls hits for the kids, right? It's just another solid animated movie, right? I'll put this with like Disney, The Good Dinosaur, right? Isn't that same?
Or Crooks.
Or Crooks. That's also a DreamWorks movie. Cruise, rather. Cruise. They just sit in this tier of, hey, these are animated movies you might want to see, but if not, don't go out and break your neck for them.
And is it safe to say that animated movies this year has not been good as maybe previous years?
Whoa. We got 2 hits, dog. Calm down.
No, I'm not saying that it's not good.
We got
not as good.
I don't know what you're talking. We got 2 hits.
Bro, you got Toy Story.
And we got Lion King.
You call that?
Live
That's
action,
more CG.
live action animated. Yes, I do.
It's more CG.
Live
though.
action animated.
Well, if you count that, then I guess we're having a good year. I personally wouldn't count that movie because it wasn't animated in the sense of like cartoon.
Did you see real people? Did you see real people in that movie?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Keep lying to these folks.
People even said that looked like a documentary. I think I said that in the review.
Yeah, it's like a documentary of an animation.
But either way, I think that this movie, I think that this year for animated movies just hasn't been as good. I'm not saying that's bad, but I don't think it's been as good as maybe previous years, right? And DreamWorks really hasn't done anything good outside of How to Train Your Dragon. Like any of their other movies, as of recently, haven't really been hitting.
Boss Baby was cool.
Boss Baby was cool, as you just said.
Boss Baby was cool.
But it wasn't.
Trolls was a hit.
Not for adults.
They're making a second one.
Not for adults.
They're making a second one.
They're making a second one of emoji movies.
It was, no, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're making a second emoji movie.
No, they are not. Not if I can help it. Cut.
So making a sequel does not mean the movie was successful. Making a sequel means they made enough money to maybe have another one. And that's where this movie might fall. This movie might make enough money to potentially make a sequel. But that's as far as it goes.
In conclusion, for me, Abominable is a 5.1. And I'm only giving it the 0.1 because the story was cute. It was adorable, right? But again, the movie didn't leave a lasting imprint on me in any which way. I didn't laugh at any of the jokes. I didn't care for the spectacles I saw on screen. The villain was kind of whack. I never really felt that they were in any real danger. I guess the biggest takeaway is the lessons in this movie, which they kind of glossed over. Or if they didn't gloss over it, they just didn't resonate with me. But that's it. That's what you get. Abominable. DreamWorks.
One thing that DreamWorks to me always delivered is the quality of animation, right? And I think that DreamWorks got to get props in the sense that they kind of took some of the good things that Disney and Pixar do and try to take those things and use them for themselves, right? And they do a great job on the animation front, and this movie's no different. This movie does look well done. It looks very, very well done, right? And I gotta give credit for at least that. Everything else about the movie falls short. The story, the premise, definitely the villain, or lack thereof. No connection to the characters, and even like you said, even the message at the end of the movie, as good as it should have felt, it also fell flat because it was just overshadowed by the rest of the movie. So, with all that being said, I think kids probably would rather play Fortnite or get on YouTube and watch something else. I don't even think they're gonna watch this movie. So I probably have to give this movie a 4. I gotta give this movie a 4 because I don't even think that kids will really enjoy this movie as much as they should, right? And I know a 4 sounds kind of bad. You would think a 4 is like, oh, the movie is terrible. The movie's not terrible, but it's not watchable. It's not watchable, right? I would just say that it's not. Stop laughing. The movie's just not watchable. How about this? Scratch the 4. I'm gonna go up a little higher. I'm gonna say a 4.9, right? I'm gonna say that the movie is slightly not watchable for audiences like kids and adults. Maybe if you got your toddler, your 2-year-old, and you want to put something on, because this will be on Netflix real soon. You will see this on Netflix within the coming weeks. You will see this, no months. You will see this movie on Netflix in October. I'm letting you know that right now. And you can check it out, put it on for your toddler, and let them listen to the sounds of this movie.
That completes the review of Abominable. Almost messed it up. I was close.
They did.
As always, let us know how you feel about the movie. I know most of our viewers probably won't even see this movie. But like he said earlier, catch it on Netflix sometime in October. And let us know how you feel. As always, don't forget, you seen it here. Hit the notification bell.